Star Wars Visions is here, and in this video, I want to give you my thoughts on the particular episodes and on the season as a whole. And I also want to talk about two main things that this show did better than Disney Star Wars has done in most of their actual canon projects. And it's something that I hope Disney can learn from with regards to this show. Let's break it down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Ventures Tower as per usual. And yeah, man, I definitely wanted to talk about Star Wars Visions. Did a watch party with all of the Nerd Ventures last night. Went through every single episode, and I've seen the first 3 episodes more than once. And I really like that first episode in particular. So let's kind of start there. Let's give you my list of each episode. I rated them. I sort of made, a tier list, if you will. And so I consider these 3 up at the top to be sort of S tier. This includes episode 1, episode 5, and episode 7. Now, episode 1, The Duel, is my favorite episode. This was such a good episode. Something I'll probably show friends in the future. Like, if we're chilling before we go do something and nobody knows, like, what we should throw on, I might be like, whoa, have you ever seen this Star Wars anime? It's literally about 13 minutes. It's absolutely incredible. It's something I might throw on in that kind of a setting. And just in general, something I will revisit often. I think it is a masterpiece, and I'm so excited that they're doing a novel in this universe. And who knows, man, maybe they could even make this thing canon or something like that. But I don't know. I just absolutely love the Duel. I think it is hands down the best episode of all 9. Episode 5 is also really good. The Ninth Jedi. A lot of interesting things happening with the lore here. And this main dude in the show, it's like spoilers, but you think he's a Sith. He ends up being a good guy Jedi. He has an awesome looking lightsaber, and just the whole vibe of that episode was fantastic. So I would say that's my second favorite. And then episode 7, The Elder, also very good episode. Really fun time with a very evil character. So I put those all in an S tier. I would put in the A tier episode 8, Lap Ocho, and episode 3, The Twins. And I would personally rate them in that order. I think episode 8 is just a little bit better than The Twins, but those are very fun episodes. Really wild what they did with both of those episodes. The Twins in particular was just so imaginative, and it goes nuts. I know it goes too far for some people, and there's weird stuff in the episode, like they don't have to breathe in space, but the droid has a helmet on. It's very confusing. So there's some weird stuff going on there, but I love both of those. Then I'd personally say in the B tier for me would be episode 9, Akakira, and episode 4, The Village Bride. Both really fun episodes, not really doing it for me in the story sense, but a lot of fun stuff going on. The animation was cool, and the overall story is fun. And then I'd say all the way down in F level tier, you would have episode 6, Obi-Wan, and episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody. And look, I know some people might feel differently than me, but both of these episodes were way too wild, way too crazy, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, way too freaking anime for me. Like, there had to be a balance here in some of these. I love the anime sensibilities. Bringing that into Star Wars is really fun, but those 2 episodes to me, didn't like them. Really didn't enjoy them. And as far as a rating for the overall show, I'd probably have to say 7 out of 10, which may surprise some of you. Many of you guys that I was talking to about this thought it was in the 8 out of 10 range, or maybe even the 9 out of 10 range. The only reason I'm giving it a 7 is because you do have those weaker episodes, but also as a show, the pacing just overall is kind of all over the place. I mean, you go from my favorite episode to my least favorite episode in a 1-2 punch to start the whole thing off with. And then many of the episodes feel incomplete. It feels like there's more of the story that should be told in maybe another episode or in another season. And honestly, I'm just not the biggest fan of that. Like, it left me with a lot of wanting more kind of in many different places. And so I think just as an overall show, as something that you just want to sit down and enjoy, it just lacks for me. So I would have to say a 7 out of 10 for that. But don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars Visions, and the ones that I really enjoyed, I think they are fantastic. And there's some things done within Star Wars Visions that are so good and so much better than what Disney has done with many of their canon stories. And the main one is this reverence for the lightsaber and the Kyber crystal. Now, the lightsaber, the Kyber crystal, very cool things, but I don't even know if normie Star Wars fans would totally know what a Kyber crystal is and how or why it it is so significant. But the Japanese and the Japanese artists and the Star Wars fans, they seem to be really keen on that aspect of the lightsaber, and it's just something that I think should definitely be explored more in canon Star Wars. I mean, you have this Kyber crystal armor that's fueling the twins episode, and then that Kyber itself being the fuel for an Earth-destroying weapon, something like the Death Star. I mean, that's in canon as well. The Death Star is fueled by Kyber. And this was one of my favorite parts of the James Luceno novel that led up to Rogue One. Catalyst, I think is what it was called. And there's just a lot more in there about the Kyber, what the Kyber are. There's stuff in the Ahsoka novel where she's hearing the singing of the Kyber, and there's this possibility that the Kyber crystal has its own consciousness. This is all really interesting stuff and points to some deep spiritual aspects of Star Wars. Maybe that's why some of the American creators have sort of shied away from putting that in the forefront of the stories, but it was a fantastic thing for me as a hardcore Star Wars fan to see on full display, and it does sort of bring in this reverence and this mystery and this awe to something like the lightsaber, which, you know, just tangibly speaking is one of the coolest weapons ever, and the sounds and the way it moves and everything like that, so friggin' awesome. But then the Kyber beyond that, taking that to another level, diving deep into that, I think fits for Star Wars, and it's something I really, really enjoyed. But they also just have so much more Jedi and lightsabers and fighting. It's just, this is exactly what Star Wars fans want. And I think one of the biggest downfalls of the sequel trilogy, sort of this unspoken truth, because everybody likes to, you know, pick on other little aspects of the sequel trilogy. But one of the problems was they set up another version of the OT where there are practically no Jedi. There's only a couple of lightsabers in the whole friggin' galaxy. And that's just a major mistake. Like, just have more fun with Force-using people and lightsabers. It's a big part of Star Wars, and it was obvious that they were going to do a lot more of this with Star Wars Visions, and doing it was really successful. It's some of the best parts of the show. When it's used and being, you know, swinging around and fighting, absolutely. But it's also used in this, like, reverence sort of way when they're in those little boxes or being passed down from generation to generation, and families that aren't necessarily Jedi having access to Jedi weapons, and these weapons playing a role in different people's family and their lineage. It's fantastic stuff, and something that I think Star Wars should do more of moving forward. But honestly, the coolest part of Star Wars Visions to me were these particular moments in certain episodes that I was just really drawn into the world, and I found myself being in this pure state of wonder. And that is something that really captured me as a youth. When I first watched Star Wars, I was just captivated by the mystery of it, by that sense of awe, trying to understand, who was this guy, Luke Skywalker? What was he doing? This world out there that he was going to go explore, learning different aspects of that, meeting new aliens, having, you know, trouble befall our heroes, all these sort of things. It really stuck with me from back then. It's something that I felt again watching the prequels, learning more about that world. And it's even something that I experienced watching The Force Awakens for the first time, and when I was watching The Last Jedi, because you're just at a place of wonder, right? And you don't know everything, and you're getting things filled in, and it really brings you to a place of wonder. Now, The Last Jedi goes into a kind of weird direction, which ultimately takes some of that wonder away. But remember the first time you saw that movie? Remember that feeling of awe that you had, just kind of experiencing it, being shocked and being surprised by all of these different things? That feeling was absent from The Rise of Skywalker to me, because it's just, not only did we kind of know where it was going, but it was very forecasted how all of that was going to go, right? And that I didn't really enjoy. I think in Solo, there's a lack of awe, a lack of, you know, mystery. So I don't know, man. That is just something that I know it's not like an exact formula of how to get there, but just in the way that you take a character through a journey, like the duel specifically for me, so much wonder. I just found myself being caught up in all these different aspects of that episode. The the different characters we were meeting, the pirates coming in with the Imperial gear and how that was working, and just being in awe of the state of this planet, how it was self-sustaining, what it was like to survive in a post-Empire world, and all of that. Who this Sith person was, who is this main character, this Ronin type Jedi Sith hunter, who is this person? And finding that sense of awe and mystery and wonder was magical. It's something I miss from Star Wars. It's something that I hope Disney can replicate in the future. And so I think if Disney were to just listen to fans, see how fans react to this, I do think that these anime episodes in some ways did some things better than canon Disney Star Wars has been doing, and I'm hoping they pull those out. The reverence for the lightsaber, the reverence for the Kyber, and diving deep on that, and also just establishing a world of wonder, bringing us through kind of like a child, like seeing it for the first time. That's an important feeling, and man, it just really hit me in the feels for some of these episodes, being taken back to a place like that with Star Wars. I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful that this thing got made. Thank you to everybody at Lucasfilm and all the incredible artists that worked on this stuff. Fantastic stuff. So as a Star Wars fan, I am here for it. But there you have it, guys. My thoughts, my rating of the episode, my rating of the whole season, and what I hope Disney learns from Star Wars Vision. I'm sure you have some thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of our content pop up in your recommended feed, and go check out our live streaming channel. Man, we do watch parties and have a ton of fun over there on the live streaming channel. It's always a good time. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.